time to get set up a bit here. Of course, taking a picture. Excuse my phone. Hi guys! Hello! How is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome. We haven't gotten started yet, but we're gonna get started very soon. Gonna do some quick painting. Hi Moo Moo Milk. Hi Haramiro. Hi Soft Jimin. Hi Journey and Kara. Hi everybody. Antonio. Bestie Boy. Hello. I'm so excited to be streaming with you guys. I haven't gotten started. Oh, there's so many of you. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. We haven't gotten started yet. I'm going to very soon. Hey guys. Studio 7-1 markers. I haven't heard of those. I will write it down and make a note to look them up. How is everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be streaming with you guys today. I just need to post to social media that we're going to be streaming, and then we will get started in just a moment. We're going to be doing some, I'm glad you're good, Journey. We're going to get started in just a moment. We're going to be doing something kind of loose today, a little bit experimental. Yeah, there is a mirror over here. Can you see it? How much of me can you see? I don't know. Does it? Because for me, the window stops like right here. There's like a mirror right down there in the corner. I was thinking about turning it so you guys could see me, and then I don't have to use two cameras. I'm doing good. I'm so excited to be streaming with you guys. And I had some time this afternoon, so I figured we would do just something kind of quick and loose together. As soon as I share this on Instagram, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for being patient with me. I'm going to be painting, I have a super light sketch here that we're going to paint. Hey! And we're going to use acrylic gouache. I've been experimenting with opaque mediums a lot this month, or last month I should say. Hello, Emma's a new subscriber. Hi Emma. Why isn't this like not working? Hold on just a moment. I wanna oh, Zambian, that's so good. I love you too. Okay, so you guys can watch. I'm just gonna share this on Instagram real quick, and then we will get started. How exciting! Streaming on YouTube! Okay. Okay, real quick. That's obnoxious. Okay, let's just do white text. Okay, almost ready, guys. My break was great. Good, posted. Let's do it. Okay. So, yep, I've got my a super loose sketch that we're going to be using, and yay! If you guys are painting along, that'll be amazing. I'm going to be, as I said, using acrylic gouache. I will try to check the chat often, and I have my palette all set up from experimenting I was doing. Oh, my paint's going to drip. So I'm going to be using this acrylic gouache palette that I've already started using. It's in my Stay Wet palette, so this paint is not from today. This is from yesterday, and it's still super wet. We're just going to make a big mess. I might move you guys in a little bit closer to the painting. We'll see. And, oh, I'm excited. Yay! You're about to get sketching. That's fantastic. Yeah, you guys should draw. Hey, Mary! Okay, guys. How's that? Does that look good? I'm going to be doing my best to, check the chat. So please forgive me if you ask me a question and I miss it. I will do my best to check it out. Okay. This acrylic gouache is from Holbein, and the individual tubes look like this. I've used it a few times in videos before. This is what we're using today. Not this color, actually, ironically. I wonder if I can. Okay, I'm just going to check and see if I can see the chat. Oh, I don't want to watch the video. I just want to see the chat. Okay, so I'm going to be watching the chat on my phone, hopefully. And we'll go from there. Let's see if this works. Let's do it. Okay. All right. Yes, if you're drawing along, that's awesome. I've got everything ready. I've got water that's not clean. So the reason I'm using acrylic gouache instead of regular gouache, somebody asked, is Emma asks if I have tips on drawing people, and hi Marissa. I will answer your question about tips on drawing people very soon, but I want to get something else first. Oh, I'm using acrylic gouache instead of gouache, regular gouache, because it dries like, well, because it's acrylic basically. It is acrylic with a mattifier, so it's basically just acrylic paint that dries matte instead of shiny. So I wanted something that I could layer on top of without worrying about my underneath layers getting reactivated. So that's why we're going with acrylic gouache. Greetings from Finland. Aww. Hi, thank you for coming. Okay, so tips on drawing people, because somebody asked. Draw a lot of people. that's kind of a cheating way to say that, but I would recommend, don't be afraid to look at reference. I know a lot of people struggle with that. There are some really great artists out there. Also, I don't have a ton of plans, by the way, for this painting. It's going to be a big mess. There are a lot of great artists out there who have material that you can check out for reference, like Andrew Loomis, has some really great anatomy and figure drawing books. And I started with just kind of trying to get proportions right, so figuring out how tall the figure is and finding landmarks for that sort of thing. Going like, this is where, you know, this is how long legs are supposed to be, and this is how long torsos are supposed to be, and kind of starting from there. Yeah, so once you kind of get a better idea of proportions, you can just, figure drawing is amazing. Like, just Croquis Cafe is a YouTube channel that has a ton of figure drawing resources, and just practice every day, or as much as you can, and it makes a huge difference. Yeah, you just have to practice, but you have to practice, but you also have to practice the right way. So, like I said, look up informational. Oh, there's a couple people who have really great YouTube channels with, I know I've talked about them before, with reference for people. So I would recommend like Psychra or Proco. They both have amazing YouTube channels with lots and lots of really great anatomy references. So I'm just going to be making a big mess here today, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen. Nobody knows. But it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna hang out. If you guys, okay, there's another question that I told myself I was going to remember. Oh, I think it was that one. So if anybody has any other questions, please do let me know, and I will do my best to answer as many questions as I can. I've been trying to make new things and whatever. Aw, I'm glad that, like, that kind of blows my mind sometimes when people say that they are learning from my techniques or drawing things the way that I do, which it seems crazy to me, because I feel like so much of what I do is things that I've learned from other people. So it's like really, really crazy for me. Yeah, there's a mirror in my room and you can see my face. You can? You can see my face? Hello? That's fine. I don't mind if you can see my face. I just like can't, I feel like I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing. Like, what are, like, for me, the camera cuts off like right here. And for you guys, you can see my face, which is fine. I don't mind. I'm like, oh, cause like there. I can see, there's my face. That's fine. Oh well. Hello. Okay, we'll just leave it there. I hope, as long as you guys can see the painting. Oh, thank you. I'm looking at you guys. Okay. That's so sweet, Haley. Thank you. Okay, we gotta paint something. My least favorite type of media. Ooh, that's a really interesting question. So, and it's actually something I've been... Fran vibe with the mirror. Fran is a genius for thinking up the mirror thing, because I often want to do more, like show my face more often in videos, but then I have to plan for what's behind me in a way that like is difficult to light, like just to get the lighting right. And if you guys don't know Fran, or that seems impossible. She's amazing. Yeah, she's super fantastic. Yeah, she does this thing with the mirror and it's incredible. Also, you're not getting like a super great view of my face from the mirror because it's on the floor. So sorry, guys. I hope that's not obnoxious. Oh, Bestie Boy, you are incredible for putting a great big question for your question. That's a great idea. If you guys want to, if you have a question and you put question before it, I'm so much more likely to see it. Thank you. What actually is your question? Do I have a hashtag for art? Oh, no, I don't. That's a good idea. A hashtag for art during the stream. I will have to think that up for future streams. This is just kind of impromptu. I need to answer that other question. My least favorite media for art. So, for a long time, I thought that I would dislike acrylics because there are so many artists who use watercolors that I admire who have said that, oh my gosh, acrylics are awful. But I've been searching for an opaque medium lately and have been kind of making my way through different things. And I'm really excited about acrylics, actually. I'm kind of using acrylic wash as a test for acrylics to see, oh yeah, pastels. I don't like chalk pastels. Oh, those are messy. Chalk pastels are really messy. Oil pastels aren't too bad. I haven't used them a ton, and definitely not in a while. Someone asked how long I have been drawing. I used to draw as a teenager and as a kid, you know, but I never drew to learn or to get better at art when I was younger. It was just for fun. And I've only seriously been trying to get better at art for about like 2.5 years, guys. Not very long. Seriously, not very long at all. I hope that my hand is not obstructing your view. If it is, please let me know. We can shift the camera. Like I said, this was really seriously impromptu. I didn't plan a ton for this stream. We're just kind of hanging out and having fun together. I don't even know if this painting's going to turn into something I'll like. Let me look through your questions. Oh, you guys are the best. Do I do any mixed media? Sometimes I'll combine things depending on what I'm trying to do. Usually it just ends up, you know, I'll use a couple different medias for a piece. So, I might, if I'm doing a gouache painting, I might do like watercolors underneath. I haven't done a ton of mixed media, but I'm hoping to switch that up in the future. I have some plans, some things I'm crazy excited to talk to you guys about that we will be discussing in future videos coming very soon. So I haven't done a ton of mixed media, but I do like to mix things up. I used to do more. I used to use colored pencils and ink in more of my art, but it's dwindled a lot over the years. I haven't been using as much. Can you guys even tell what's happening in this painting? It's kind of a mess. Let's see. Someone asked if I ever use markers, and yes, I have used markers before. I feel like when I was first getting into art, everybody was using Copic markers, and I was like, oh, I guess I need to use Copic markers. So I did some research about markers and tried out some things, and it took me a while to realize that markers weren't going to be my primary medium, that they weren't, you know, ideal for me. But I did use markers for a little while. It's been some time now since I used them, but I used to use markers more. The mirror, I'm thinking like I should move it to a better place so you guys can see me a little bit better, because I was not planning for the mirror to be a thing. I think I'll have to include the mirror in like every live stream now from here on out, because I like the idea. I was thinking about how I could set up a separate camera, like a second camera, and I think the mirror is just going to work better. Maybe I can try to move it and you guys can tell me how it looks. Ooh, acrylic paint markers. Now, can you guys tell me, I've heard about acrylic paint markers. Are Posca pens acrylic, or is that a different kind of paint marker? Because I know lots of people use Posca pens, but I don't know how they fit, like if that's acrylic paint in a Posca pen, or if it's some other kind of paint. If anybody knows, I'm really curious to know. Oh, they are acrylic. Great, thank you guys, that's super helpful. Yeah, I have some Posca pens that I bought specifically for the purpose of reviewing on the channel, and that was several months ago. It was just one of those things that I haven't gotten to yet, and I do want to talk about them more. Bean stream art. That's adorable. I like that hashtag for art made during the stream. If you guys do make any art during the stream, use that hashtag. We're just gonna do it. Beans stream art. And if you tag me in it on Instagram, that would be another good way for me to get to see that. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let me look through some more of your questions. Somebody asked about tips for gouache, so I want to talk about that, and also how to make art a job. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. So tips for gouache, we'll do that first. I've wanted to make like a gouache tips video for a long time, but I never did because I've never felt comfortable enough working with gouache personally to feel qualified in talking about it. But one of the biggest things that helped me to even be excited about using gouache was to stop using it dried like watercolors. I wanted to dry it out in pans and then use my gouache. That works really well for some people, but for me, I was just getting started with gouache and I was so confused about it. I find it much easier to learn fresh out of the tube. Sure, you can switch to using it dry once you have a better handle on gouache, but using it fresh out of the tube was one of the biggest things that helped me understand the medium more when I was first getting started, and I'm so glad that I did that. It's still my preferred way to use gouache fresh out of the tube because the consistency is easier to control for me. So I would say use it fresh out of tube. Also, gouache has a drying shift, so it tends to dry lighter or darker, and that can be a really hard thing to manage, and some people will say you should like swatch all of your stuff and let it dry so you can see what colors are going to look like before you paint with them. I don't want to do that. It's a good idea. It's fantastic advice, but I'm impatient and that takes time, and I don't want to do it. So I end up just making a big mess. But one thing with any medium, don't be afraid to take the time to make a ton of swatches. Like I just fill up pages and pages in my sketchbook with just swatches. Oh boy, this is getting messy. Yeah. How to make art a job. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, I think it's important for me to state that when I started making art videos, I did not do this to be a job. It was not my intention to make art a career when I started making YouTube videos. I just wanted to share some things, and I was inspired by other people who were sharing things, so I wanted to share things. And the channel started really slowly, like all channels do, with growth. And it wasn't until I was really struggling at my normal job that I was like, I gotta get out of here. And at the time, my my Skillshare classes were growing, and that was becoming much more viable for work. And my husband works, and his job was supporting us, so I didn't need to work, as crazy as that sounds. So I just decided to jump into art and do it, and that's what I've done. I think it's really important to, it's hard because just because you love to do art doesn't mean that it's going to work well as a job for you. I need a smaller brush. It could. Oh, can I zoom in so you can see? Yeah, you know what, guys? Let me get a little bit closer to the painting for a little while because I'm gonna be using a smaller brush. So we're going to move this. Let's move you guys in closer to this painting, okay? Here we go. You guys will have to tell me how it looks. Tell me what you can see. Okay, this is going to be kind of difficult because my stand is super picky about how it's positioned. If it would stay like that, that would be great. Can you guys see okay? Let me know if you guys can see, or if it could be better. Yeah, the mirror is gone. I'm sorry. We'll bring it back. But for now, I want you guys to be able to see the painting. Thank you guys. Thanks so much, everybody. So for some people, making art a business works really well because they're doing what they love and it's fun. But for some people, it ruins what you love. So you might be really enjoying making art, and then once you have to make it a job, it becomes an obligation, and it's something that you can't enjoy as easily anymore, and that can be really difficult. So you have to kind of test things out. I think another thing that's really important is to not feel like you have to do art as a job the way other people are doing it. So if you go, oh, everybody has an Etsy shop, or everybody's making YouTube videos, like just because other people are doing that doesn't mean it has to be the way you do it. Like, it takes time to find out a method that works for you. That's just the truth. And I know it's an answer that not a lot of people want to hear or that people enjoy. Let me see if we can shift so that you guys are on my left side so that my hand isn't covering the paper. I apologize for the constant movement. Woo, we're moving again. This way my hand won't block the artwork for you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. We'll get more set up a bit more professionally, maybe, in future videos. Let's see if I can get this in a place where it will stay, because it wants to fall. I can tell you that. This wants to fall down. Come on, stand. Help us out. Do it for the people. Do it for the people, stand. Yeah, that's not it. That's still not it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Huh? Uh-huh. So, I don't know if she's still here. Mary was hanging out with us and she painted this. And it's on my desk and I love it. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's focus. Let's focus. Let's get back to things. Anyway, making art a job, don't be frustrated if it doesn't work out. It's not for everybody, you know? Just try things. Try what works for you. It's a good idea to start things on the side when you can spend smaller amounts of time. There they are, Mary! Mary has a really awesome comic on Webtoons called Dazer and Eleanor. Oh my gosh. I love the comic. I love Mary's art. She's Miss Mark here on in the chat, and she's fantastic. Anyway, yeah, try things one step at a time and let it work or not work. And if it doesn't work, then you can just enjoy art as a hobby, and that's fine. Get connected with other artists, other people who are doing things the way you want to do it, and talk to them. Not trying to promote yourself, but just, it's okay to ask people questions or just get involved with the communities that they're involved in. Because, like, we've all been the person. Emma, I will answer your question if you can give me just a moment. Sorry, guys, I know you guys, Emma keeps asking, and you're being so patient with me. I appreciate that. Okay, Emma, what's going on? What's going on, Emma? What's happening? Oh, get your art out there. If social media is not an option, oh, that's a good question. I would say work locally if you can. So if your school does art fairs or art competitions, do what you can in your area. My town has like a little gallery, and I've thought about showing my art there and just never made it happen. But do what you can locally, build up your skill where you're at. It's possible that other companies, or not, I don't know, or events, places that do have social media, if you get your work out there and it's being presented locally, they might have social media and they can share your art. It's so interesting because I feel like doing art and sharing it on social media, like, everybody thinks those go hand in hand, like you have to do them. But you don't have to do social media to be a successful artist, and being on social media, I think, makes you a different kind of artist. Like, if you choose to be someone who shares on the internet, that's not the only kind of artist to be. So, I don't know if that's helpful at all, but if you can do things locally, you should. I think that's important. It'll help you to build your skills for a time, and then you can decide when you're older if you want to share things on social media. I personally think it's great to take a break from the internet and from social media every once in a while. By the way, guys, I have zero like, I don't need this painting to be a good painting. I mostly just wanted to hang out. So we'll see what we could do. Oh, Otto's here. Hello. Thank you for coming. Oh, doing commissions for your friend. That is a really good idea. Thank you. Yeah, doing commissions for friends. You guys want to hear a funny story? When I was in middle school, like 6th grade, I used to draw Pokemon for my neighbors, and they would pay me $0.25 for my Pokemon drawings. That was fun. Somebody asked if I ever went to art school, and I did not. I did not go to art school. I actually went to college to be a teacher, and then started working at a public library and had kids, and just kind of picked up drawing again. And here we are. That's kind of how it went. Aw, thanks, Otto. I'm excited to be streaming. I've been really nervous about streaming on YouTube. It just feels a bit more intimidating than streaming on Instagram. Maybe because my audience is larger here. There's more of you guys here. I don't know. I just get nervous. Aw, thanks, Kara. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream. Somebody asked about this easel, and this was actually a gift. It's just a tabletop easel. So you can see it stands up on my table here. And I've been using this a lot, especially for opaque mediums, because I can view my art at a better angle. So handy. So nice. Yeah, so hopefully this is a really weird angle for you guys to be viewing this painting at. I apologize. Okay. that's okay. If you have to go, Emma, thank you for stopping by. It was nice to have you for a little while. I feel like I need to make a mess on this painting, you guys. I feel like I just need to explore and turn it into a mess, and then we'll build on the mess and see what happens. Yeah, you know what, Mando is right, Emma. You have an amazing opportunity to know that you want to do art younger and work on developing your skills. Oh my goodness, like, if I had started, I know that every artist who is an adult will say, I wish I had started doing art earlier because I'd be so much better now, you know? So, like, spending that time, we're just gonna make a mess, okay, guys? Spending that time developing your art and learning what you like and what you don't like before you feel pressured to make it a professional thing, so valuable. Oh my gosh, so valuable. I'm gonna be making a big mess, so I hope you guys don't get upset with me, because we're gonna cover a lot of this up and redefine it, because I don't have plans for this painting. I just want to play around, and that's fine. If you've asked a question and I have missed it, please let me know. Yeah, I didn't start developing, like, wanting to get better at art until I was 25. So I'm 27 now, so it's like 2.5 years that I've been actively trying to improve and to grow. So, oh, hi Noelle, thank you for coming. What surface am I painting on? Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everybody. Okay, this is actually just a super cheap cotton canvas, like some canvas on a like board. It feels almost like cardboard, to be honest. It's the super cheap like the economy panels from Arteza. I bought them myself. Arteza didn't send these ones to me. I bought them myself a long time ago, to be honest, because I decided I was gonna do probably oil painting or something, and then I never did, and so I sat on these canvases for a long time, and I'm finally using them up. So I can probably get more, because I've been enjoying opaque mediums lately. Still doing watercolors, but this has been fun to experiment and to feel like I can experiment. So it's been fun. Hi Zoe. Hi everyone. Now it's time to squint and look and turn my head and squint and think and keep squinting. I know I want this value to be darker. Yeah, I agree that it's important to enjoy art before you worry to improve. Yeah. And that's why I think it's important to enjoy art even off of social media. Like, I feel like social media, you're always seeing the best of what everyone's doing, and it's overwhelming. And if you can just take time separate from that to grow and develop without that constant pressure of I'm not as good as these other people, wow, that's a good thing. Yeah, so I did a lot of painting while I was on my break. To be honest, I did some painting while I was on my break. I also played a lot of video games because, you know, break, so that's what I did. And it was a nice time. I learned some things. It wasn't, you know, like this revolutionary pilgrimage or anything. But yeah, it was a nice break. It was very nice. Art Adventure asked if I have any big projects planned for 2019. Oh boy, I have some projects. Now, it's not like I'm not going to go skydiving and like jump out of a plane and paint something or anything like that, but I do have some plans. You guys want to know about some of my secret plans? I can show you a couple of things. Some secret plans. Should I do it? Should I show you guys the secret plans? I have some things that are coming up this month, some things that are coming up next month. Some things are going to take some time. Save the mirror! I want the mirror. Oh, we will get back to the mirror, I promise. That's so funny. Okay, so secrets. I might even just push this painting aside for a couple minutes so I can show you guys some secret plans. We can take a break from this painting and then come back to it with fresh eyes and talk about the painting. But I think I'm gonna push this aside for a moment so I can show you guys some secret plans. Oh boy, secret plans. Okay. All right. So let's take a moment to evaluate how this painting is going before we push it aside. So this is what we've got. I kind of went backwards. I blocked in some big shapes, and we'll come back to it in a moment. Okay, painting. Time to take a break from the painting so I can show you guys some secrets. Come here, painting. Okay. Secret number 1. Let's see. Okay. So secret number 1 is the reason that the mirror is on the floor is I've been doing some self-portraits, but my self-portraits have been in oils. So I've been, okay, this is kind of a mess. I'm going to tilt it on side. I've been doing oil painting. So this was the first self-portrait in oils that I ever attempted because I want to make some oil painting videos for you guys. And so this was an attempt in oils. I did this one a couple weeks ago. It's water mixable oils, so it's drying. This is another one I did. These are a couple weeks old. They're still not dry. This one you can see the wet paint on the side there. I like this one. So I have the mirror set up so I can do self-portraits like painting from life. And I'm planning to make some oil painting videos, or at least one oil painting video for you guys. I think that's actually the beginning of April. So I've been working with oils, and that's been a lot of fun. Water mixable oils, because, yeah. So we're going to be talking about what I've learned from working with oil paints in the future soon. I have to stand these back up because they're not dry yet. The oil paintings take a long time to dry. Okay. Thank you for being patient with me. My other secret involves this box and this. So, I have some other amazing... Do water mixable oils smell? A little bit. They smell like oil. It's not a bad smell. But the oils do smell a little bit like oil. So... Oh, Odo guessed it. I've been making paints, you guys. I've been making watercolors. I told Oto, to be honest, so she knew. But yeah, I've been making some paints, and it's been kind of a mess. Obviously, paint making is a big mess. If you guys don't know Oto Kano, she makes watercolors, and she's incredible and inspired me, and why? Why won't you stay, please? Yeah, she's so good. Okay. So this box is full of some paints that I've made already. It's kind of a lot, but kind of not really a lot. So these are some paints I've already made. There's a lot of different colors. These ones got a little contaminated, which is a bummer. Yeah. So yes, you can make watercolor paints, Mando says, and it's actually, I feel like it's really mysterious, and not a lot of people know about how to make paints. Oto has some really great videos, and there's some other creators who have great paint making videos also, but I really want to share this process with you guys because I'm so excited to talk to you about how I've been making paints. And so those ones are dry. This little container contraption thing, my father-in-law helped to build for me so that I could put paints in it while they're drying. So you can see this buff titanium as it dried. Hi, hey Mel. So this one, it's like, you know, this needs to be refilled, and it takes multiple pourings to fill all of the paints. Do you guys mind if we get totally distracted and I swatch out some of these colors for you? Because I really want to show you the colors I've been making. I'm so excited. I have not been wanting to wait. Okay, you know what? We're just going to do it. I'm going to get my sketchbook, and I'm going to get my palette. We're going to swatch some colors, that painting can wait for a little bit. I don't even know where I put that thing, to be honest. Okay. Swatching time! I need a brush. Where's a brush? I don't think I own any brushes. Okay. So, I've been making paints, and what I do is some of my... swatch all the things! Some of my paints go in half pans, but I've also been making a palette for myself. So I'm going to set you guys up on this side. I'll show you my palette. Swatch, 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 it's coming. Okay, so first of all, this is the palette I'm using, and has some stickers. Some of my favorite characters. There's Mary's Dazer again, love it. Save the mirror, it died. How do we get the mirror in here and swatch at the same time? I don't even know, you guys. That mirror is big and heavy, but I want to talk to you. Okay, let's swatch first. Anyway, this is the palette I've been putting my paints in. These are all, this is the normal state of my palettes, to be honest. It's kind of messy. These are all paints that I made. Yeah, it's cool. And some of these colors I've replaced or taken out or moved around. So we'll just start from the yellowy side and we'll move around the palette. Yeah, I have so many Sola stickers, you guys. I cannot talk about how I've never had a fictional character from a video game mess me up, like just completely demolish my mental state more than Solas from Dragon Age. Okay, anyway, talking about paints, let's swatch some colors. So the first color is Buff Titanium. This color is amazing and so easy to mull. It's like, I love it. It's so smooth. It's like an opaque beigey color, and I love it. How close can I get you guys? Comfortable. Does that look okay? I don't want it to be too bright. Yeah, Buff Titanium. It's so nice to mull. Oh my goodness. I really love it. Okay. What do I use for my binder? I don't mind you asking at all. My binder, and this is great because when I make painting videos, which I'm going to, we're going to have some paint making videos. I'm going to tell you guys everything. Like, I want to tell you the things that have worked and the things that haven't worked, what's in my paints, what I like and what I don't like. So my binder, the base is gum arabic. I feel like this is overexposed, so I apologize. You guys let me know if that looks too bright. Thank you, Haley, for coming and for joining us for a bit. Oh boy. Come on, you can stay. Yeah, oh my goodness. Otto is gonna guess all of these colors. Yeah, this is like a nickel titanium yellow for sure. It's a semi-transparent, semi-opaque, cool yellow. I love it. It's gorgeous. I just want to see the chat. I just want to talk to you guys. Where's my chat? Give me my chat. Okay. Oh yeah, my binder is a gum arabic base, but I also have mixed in some glycerin and a little bit of honey, which I was able to find some local honey here in Berks County, Pennsylvania, which is amazing. Makes me really happy. So there's glycerin, honey, and a little bit of clove, just like a clove essential oil to preserve the binder. So it's nice because the binder smells like clove. This is just like a nice gentle smell. And then I add some synthetic ox gall to my paints, and it helps them to flow better. So this warm yellow is, oh boy, I don't remember what pigment this is. I tried a couple different warm yellows before I found one that I like. Yeah, it's really close to Hansa Yellow, Otto. I'll have to check and see what the specific pigment is, but I do get my pigments from Kramer Pigments. I tried actually another place too. Some of these pigments are from that other place. So yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to sell these paints yet. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I absolutely love them, but I know that selling watercolor paints is a lot of work, and I'm already doing a lot of work. I might sell like extras that I have, or just do it in small batches, you know, just selling what I have, because I do have a lot and I am planning to share paint with some other people. So we'll see, guys. We will see. I'm also a little bummed because I'm looking at my iPad and I can see that these colors aren't reproducing 100% exactly how they look. We have been streaming for 46 minutes, somebody asked. Yeah, so this is my warm red. I believe this is maybe PR 254? Maybe. To be honest, I've experimented with a bunch of colors, not a ton of colors, but it's hard for me to remember off the top of my head which is which. Next is like a Quin Magenta. I'm gonna show you. Really like, and you'll be able to see how warm the first red is when I show you this one. Much cooler. No, this is quinacridone. Yeah, this is quinacridone magenta. That's what this is. So pretty. I love that color. Yeah, Pyrrole Red. I think it might be PR 254. And Steph asked what my favorite color is of the ones I've made. I use this warm red a lot. I've already had to refill it in my palette. It's probably the color I use the most. You know, it's really interesting. Yeah, the Quin, okay, and I even made a mistake. Otto, you're gonna laugh at me. Hold on. I have to talk about I use the warm red the most. I love the reds. Some colors are obviously a lot easier to mix than others. Otto asked if I found the Quins hard to work with, and that's because some pigments are easier to mold than others. They've been not super difficult. The reds are harder, but the reason that they haven't been the most difficult is because I've also been attempting to mull some phthalo colors. Oh my goodness. Mulling phthalos is like asking for everything to be covered in pigment, and it's a huge mess and it takes forever. They literally just like repel from the binder and they do not want to be mixed in. This color is quinacridone pink. That's what Kramer calls it anyway. I know, Otto. I know, I shouldn't have done it, but I did. I'll show you that color. It's really pretty, but yeah. So this is like a quinacridone pink. You can see it's pinker than the quinacridone magenta, but I really like it. And then we also have a Quin Violet. Now, Kramer's Quin Violet, at least this one is a 2 pigment color. I believe it's PV19 and PV23. So a couple nice violet-y colors. I keep kind of losing my chat a little bit, guys, so I apologize. I do not have a Patreon currently. I'm thinking about making one for paints. Somebody mentioned that, which is really interesting. So that might be a way to get, you know, some leftover paints, and I can share stuff that way. I did have Patreon when the channel was very young, but it's been a long time since I used Patreon. At the time, I just wasn't ready for the extra workload. This is my violet color, and I really, really like it. Oh, love from Costa Rica, thank you. Ooh, mixing alcohol with the Quins and phthalos. That is a good idea. I've been thinking about doing a liquid mix first and then adding my binder. So if alcohol is something that works well, I might give that a try the next time I do it. So this is my violet color. And next I have a French Ultramarine. So I'll show you that one next. Now this French Ultramarine that I have in my palette was from the first batch of ultramarine I made of this blue, and I was using a different binder, and I've since found a better binder recipe that I like more. Oh, alcohol makes my life so much easier. I will definitely look into that then. I like this color, but the binder makes it not ideal, like in the pan. Yeah. Oh, yes, Lil Redhead asked if these are handmade watercolors. Yes, these are paints that I made that I'm going to be talking with you guys about in videos soon. They're coming. They're coming soon. Probably, I'm hoping this month, like at the end of this month, I'll have a paint making video for you guys. I'm going to turn this over so we can swatch some more colors. Sorry about the glare on that ultramarine. It's granulating. You can see it. There it goes. This paper's not ideal for swatching. This is just like the alcohol makes my life so much easier out of the paint making context. That's funny. Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? What were we talking about? Okay, next is a color that I like, and this color reactivates super easily. This is like a cobalt teal. Super nice. I like it. Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to show you guys my entire process when it comes to making these paints. And we can talk about it all. It's gonna be fun. Now this, the pigment used for this teal is not the standard cobalt teal color. It's actually the cobalt blue pigment. I don't even remember. PB28, I think. Something really similar to that. Anyway, yeah, it's a beautiful color. I love how it mixes, like with buff titanium and the yellows. Beautiful. It separates really nicely. Okay, this next color is my phthalo turquoise, which was a hassle to make, but the color is beautiful. This one is a mix of PB15:3 and PG7, maybe. I really like this color. Hold on, it's being... Okay. Yeah, I really like this one. It's a nice bluey turquoise. Thanks for hanging out, for swatching, guys. We started painting, and now we're swatching watercolors. This was fun. Yeah, I really like this one. And you can see these guys granulating back here. They're really bumping up the granulation. This next color is a really good to have in a palette, just like a good standard warm yellow iron oxide. And it's so warm, it's like sunny. Oh goodness, I love it. It's warmer than like some other yellow ochres that I've tried. Yeah, yeah. So Otto asked the question, normally how you can tell when a watercolor is done, like when you've molded it for long enough when you're making the paint, is it won't rub off on the paper, but also if you have too much binder, if you're trying to balance it out, it gets really shiny. And that's a really difficult thing to balance. And the short answer is that my paints have a little bit of shine. I was able to kind of reduce some of that, but they shine a bit. I want to do some more experiments because I figured it was better for them to be slightly shiny than for them to rub off, you know? And it still functions really well for what I want it to do. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a little bit of shine. It's not like sticky shiny, which is how it was when I first started working with it, and I just kept mulling it and mulling it. And also it needs such a tiny amount of pigment. This next one is a warm brown. This one actually granulates a bit. And the deeper brown separates from like these reddish undertones, and it's a really pretty color. It was not easy to get a balance, and to be honest, the phthalo turquoise is the color that stresses me out the most to mull because it's a mess. I always get done with that one and I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And then I do it again. So yeah, I really like this warm brown. This next one is PR 101, which is I guess like a kind of, this one reminds me of like an Indian red. Hold on. My brush is so wet that you're not seeing. This color's super pigmented. It gives a lot of color, but my brush is so wet. But I love this. It's like really cool, this variety anyway. It's like so nice. This color mixes beautifully with some of the blues. I really love it. Yeah, I haven't tried Prussian blue. I've kind of been avoiding it because I heard that it was not you know, great for working with. Oh, thank you, Oto. I'm having a lot of fun making them. A lot of fun. And I feel like if I wanted to, like, sell these, I feel like it would just be a ton of work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, Lil Redhead has done a Prussian blue. That's interesting. Make colors more granulating. I don't know. I don't know about enhancing granulation in paints. Oto, do you know anything about like granulating pigments kind of reinforcing or bringing out that granulation a bit more? Yes, this is PR 101, Sarah. Thank you for asking. What No asks if I watch any TV shows, and well, we don't own a TV. we had a TV when my daughter was born, and I just feel like it's this massive suck in the living room where like everybody focuses on it and all you can see is the TV. So we don't have a TV anymore. I don't really watch TV shows. I like to watch YouTube videos. I feel like if I can focus on choosing what YouTube videos I want to watch, that's much more effective for me than just watching whatever's on TV. I used to watch TV shows, like I love Doctor Who. I haven't seen the new Doctor at all, but I loved Doctor Who a lot. What else is happening? Yeah, if I start selling these paints, I will, of course, let you guys know. Oda wants to know who my favorite doctor is, and I'll answer that in just a question. My least favorite watercolor paints I've tried so far. I can answer that, Rain Lee. I got a set of, because somebody asked if I would review Jane Davenport watercolors. So I got a set. They were inexpensive. You know, it's that standard 12 half-pan set in the metal tin. I got some to review for the channel, and I did not enjoy those at all. They're like crafting watercolors, and they were so chalky and so grainy and so difficult to use. I was like, I don't even want to review these. Like, I don't want to just spend all the time in a review talking about how much I dislike these paints. This is kind of like a burnt umber here. I think it is like a cypress burnt umber. Oh, Oda wants to know who my favorite doctor is. Ooh, I love the Fourth Doctor. As far as like older, you know. I also love the Eighth Doctor, who was in one movie in the 90s, and he was all Victorian with his floofy shirt. Oh my gosh, I loved him. I'd say as far as modern doctors from Doctor Who go, I really love David Tennant, but I think Matt Smith has a special place in my heart. And I think Matt Smith is currently, when I think, oh, who's your favorite doctor? I might have to say Matt Smith. We are swatching my handmade watercolors, Poodle Lover. Okay, this color is Indanthrone Blue, and I love it. Look at this blue, you guys. I love this blue. Look at it. Look at how nice that is. So nice. So nice. Okay. Anyway, I love this blue, Indanthrone Blue. It's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous deep blue. Sorry, my phone's buzzing. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Yeah, that's Indanthrone Blue. It's PB60. I love it. Hi, Blue Elk. It's going good. We have one more color to swatch, and then, well, technically two, but okay. So I don't like greens very much. You may have noticed that I haven't swatched any greens, but I do love this greenish yellow. It mixes so beautifully with the other colors, and it's technically a yellow pigment, but I use it to mix greens and kind of use it as a green depending on what I'm doing. It's this really bright, like greenish yellow. So nice. I'm actually, Blue Elk asked what watercolors these are. These are my handmade watercolors that I made while I was on break. I technically started making these before my break, so I started them in January. Yeah, this is like a yellowish green. I'll have to double check the pigment. And I started making them in January, but I didn't want to tell you guys about them then because I wouldn't be able to answer your questions or make any videos until I got back from my break. Sorry about the floppy camera. I'm trying to situate you a little bit higher. And my stand is being temperamental. I see a new question and I will get there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Well, no, you're just gonna fight us, huh? Just gonna fight us. So, what was the question? Oh no, my favorite color of every brand. Ah, that's a huge question. I have one more color to show you guys. Okay. One more color. Okay. So this last color is the only color where I experimented with mixing pigments. Like I wanted to try mixing pigments together. And this is what it looks like. I'll show you the color. It's kind of like Payne's Gray. I'll show you the color and then I'll tell you what I mixed to get it. So this one looks a lot like a Payne's Gray. Hey Denise! We're swatching my paints because I couldn't wait. Denise, your timing is so perfect because I was just about to tell people what I mixed this very lovely blue-gray out of and made me think of you. This is PB60 and PR101, which is Indian Throne Blue and like an Indian Red. The one I have is like an Indian Red. So it makes this really beautiful like Payne's Gray color, and I love it. And a lot of Payne's Grays will have ultramarine in them, so they granulate. This one does not, so it doesn't granulate. I like granulation sometimes, but yes, it's a beautiful combination of colors, and I like it very much. It mixes really nicely with buff titanium also, for like this sort of warmer gray. Lol. I like the way these watercolors mix, personally. There's definitely some character, like aka imperfections, because the pigments, like I'm never going to be able to grind these colors the way that a giant metal machine can, like as far as that level of binding, but I think they have a lot of unique color, unique character to the way that they mix. So really quickly, yeah, I'm mixing them just for fun, and these two colors, I do actually have half pans of this color, like this mix. I mold them together. I'm gonna do something kind of bad because I want to show you guys the rest of the, sorry. I want to show you guys the rest of the, I'm literally just making a mess. I'm making this as dry as possible so that I can show you guys the other things in the sketchbook. Sorry, and that's gonna be a mess anyway. Oh, this is such a mess. Okay, let's do a thing. Let's look at a thing. Thank you for coming, Otto. Oh, I'm so glad you came. So I've been taking a lot of notes. These are all my notes on how I've made my binder and all the experiments and updates and stuff, and I want to just show you guys some of these swatches. How long did it take to make these watercolors? Each color, how long it takes to mold varies. Some of them you can mold up in half an hour. Some of them take hours, especially when I was trying to find the right recipe for colors. So I've been making all of these paints over the course of the last 2 months or so. Love from, you know, from like a month and a half or so. Basically, I just want to show you guys all of these random swatches I've been doing. So up here, these are my experiments with the colors I've been making. This is the cobalt teal mixed with a ton of different things. This is that, I like to swatch the colors. This is while I'm making them, I swatch them. And then this is the color mixed with a bunch of other different colors. Save the mirror! Okay, we'll get the mirror out soon, I promise. somebody, oh, beginner watercolors. I want to answer this question before we move on to a different page. As far as like, hey Aya, if you're just getting, sorry, if you're just getting started with watercolors, I would include smaller sets, or I would recommend smaller sets from like White Nights or Paul Rubens. Those are two that I have really enjoyed, or the Sonnet watercolors that I reviewed recently. All three of those are nice brands. This is that PR 101. My favorite book is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Hands down, that's my favorite book. Yeah, so this is PR 101. This was a natural sienna that I actually didn't like. This was before I was getting pigments from Kramer, and I didn't like the color, and I didn't really like the way it mixed. This was me trying to get Indian Throne Blue right, and oh my gosh, guys, this one was an absolute mess. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, your mom loves Jane Eyre. Yeah, it's my favorite book for sure. This was the first time I molded phthalo turquoise. So this was me trying to get that color right and balanced properly, and then I do some mixes with the color after I make it. Oh, this is that greenish yellow and some mixes that the color makes. Ooh, somebody asked my favorite art style and YouTuber. That's a good question. I can tell you guys. Oh, thank you, Kara. Yeah, if I sell some, I will let you know. Hold on, real quick. This is an orangey warm yellow that I did not like. I don't usually use colors like this, so I didn't include it and I didn't make more of it. And so you can see how that one mixes with other colors. My favorite YouTubers to watch. Let's see. Oh, that's so hard. I love Minnie Small. I love watching her videos. I've loved seeing her evolve as a content creator. Like the kinds of videos that she makes have been evolving over time, and I love that. I love seeing her grow and develop and change. Yeah, it looks kind of like a warm yellow here, but it looks way more orangey and purple in person, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It's super orangey. Yeah, I love Minnie. I also love Teo's video. Like, Teo does really nice informational videos where he just shows supplies and does reviews, and I really enjoy Teo's videos. They're really nice quality. This is a different red pigment that I was experimenting with before, and I didn't like this pigment. I wasn't satisfied with it, so I've since replaced that pigment, and I'm using a different one now. Oh, I love this. Okay, so this one was a phthalo blue. This is PB15:1. I don't have this pigment on its own. It looks like this, but I did use it for a mix with my phthalo turquoise. This is it next to ultramarine. I was just kind of comparing. Anyway, and this is the phthalo turquoise, or the phthalo blue, not phthalo turquoise, mixed with some other colors. Yeah, I love these blues and greens. I've been coming around to phthalo blue. Okay, so this is the warm red that I replaced the other one with. You can see, like, if you look at this one, it's so much duller than this one. So different. And that just has to do with the pigment quality. This one's from Kramer, the other one is not. So, yeah, much happier with the quality of this one. And you can see here how it was mixed with, like, a granulating blue. There might be some cobalt turquoise in that mix, and I like that. Yeah, if I sell these paints, I'll let you guys know. I haven't decided. This was that nickel titanium yellow. I love the soft kind of neutralized mixes that this color makes. I'm not sure if I'll be selling these paints, Denise. I haven't decided yet, just because I know it's going to be a lot of work, but I am going to have extras, so I'm probably going to do small, short listings of the extra paints that I have, because I've done lots of experimental things or made batches that were bigger than I anticipated them being. So I'll probably end up selling some, and I'm going to continue making paints, which means I'm going to continue to have more paints, so probably. But I'm not planning to make it a business. Like, YouTube is my job, and yes. And will I make a video on how I make I'm planning to make several videos on how I make watercolor paints. Starting later this month, I hope. So this is the Quin Red Magenta. I used to put the pigment numbers up here when I was mixing these and then stopped doing that for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, this is a good example of while I was mulling this, it's super shiny. Can you guys see how shiny that is? And that has to do with too much binder or needing more binder so that it doesn't rub off on my finger, which is how you know it's bound properly, but the result is that the paint gets super shiny. I was able to get this one less shiny, so that the final color is not this shiny, but this is while I was working on it. It was super shiny, which is not ideal in a lot of cases. It mixes nice colors. I like seeing how the colors mix. That's nice. Yeah, I think this is the warm yellow that's in the palette. Again, you can see how while I was mixing it before I got to the final one, super shiny. So it takes some work to get that shininess to not be so shiny. Okay, thank you for coming, Denise. Excuse me, I just burped a little. That's okay. Anyway, this is a burnt sienna-ish color. I think it's that warm brown. It granulates a bit. White watercolor. I don't use white watercolor very often. I tend to just, you know, utilize the white of the paper for light. But I know that a lot of people do. I just have never really incorporated it into the way I work. Ooh, a video on cheap watercolor and gouache brushes I recommend. I will do that. Bye, Denise. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I will make a video on cheap and affordable brushes, because I do have some of my favorite brushes are the cheaper ones, especially for gouache and other mediums. This is another monster attempt at that Indian Throne Blue. This color is so hard to work with. Look how shiny it is. So shiny. It's a shiny mess. Oh my goodness. Here I can show you an example of one that I made better. So here's that quinacridone violet, and you can see how shiny it is down here. But then up here in this top corner, it's not as shiny. Like, this is super shiny, but it's not as shiny in the corner. So I took some more working to get it to this less shiny version. Yeah, so basically if you are working with watercolor paints and you rub them and it comes off on your finger, so you can see that didn't come off on my finger, it means there's not enough binder. Like, the color can get really chalky, and if it rubs off, it's just not bound properly. But you can see these aren't rubbing off because I worked on them and I added enough binder, and these I actually did properly. So the shininess that's in Kuretake paint has to do with the fact, like the Kuretake Ganzai Tambi paints, has to do with the fact that the binder is different. So this basis is a gum arabic binder, but those paints have a different type of binder that makes them more shiny. Those ones are made to be shiny. They're supposed to look that way. But these ones are not the same. Let's see. Here's some more of that mixing when I was trying to get that gray color that I like. Let's see. Oh, here's a good example of that cobalt teal mixed with a nice warm yellow. I don't know, a lot of this stuff we're going to start to get repeat colors where I was making second batches, and trying colors again. Yeah, we're pretty much into, oh, here's some really beautiful mixes that I love. Let me show you guys, and then we'll get back to our painting probably. Some more sketching videos. Yes, I'm planning a sketching, this coming video that's coming up this week is going to be a gouache video. I have a review to do, and then the week after is going to be my drawing my followers video. So I'm going to be doing some more sketching in that video. If you don't already know, you can use the hashtag DrawMeArlie on Instagram, and I'm pulling images from that hashtag to draw you guys in my sketchbook, and then I'll have a video of that in a couple of weeks. So not this video, not this next video on Thursday, but the one after is going to be that. This is a mix here of cobalt teal and a warm red and a little bit of that nickel titanium yellow. And I love how the color granulates and separates here. And it's so great. Yeah, even some professional colors can get really shiny in mass tone. It really does vary a lot on the brand and the pigment used. Some of them, they just need really different ratios. Okay, what are we talking about? Winsor & Newton sets as an upgrade. I would say that Winsor & Newton paints are the brand that I have the least amount of experience with. I've used them some, but they don't feel super special to me. Like I don't really stick to Winsor & Newton paints very much. Like they don't attract me as much as other brands, to be honest. My favorite color from every brand, I mean, I'm not saying that Winsor & Newton paints aren't good. I know they're great. Maybe I just don't have enough experience with them, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try them out some more. To be honest, I don't even know if I have any Winsor & Newton professional, maybe like 1 or 2 tubes of Winsor & Newton paints at the moment. Okay, this is all of the colors. Let's get back to a painting. Oh boy, I'm looking at that painting now and trying to think about what I'm gonna do with that thing. I only have about maybe 20 more minutes before I have to leave. So we've got a little bit of time left and then I have to get going. Just so everybody knows, I have to go pick up my daughter soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up my painting again. It's just a quick little sad dude painting. There you go. Just ruin the artistic nature of it and have I considered making a painting with only one of the paints you've made along with colors mixed with it? Oh yeah, a great color palette. Like every color that I use has that base color mixed into it. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I think that's kind of what I was thinking. Where am I located? I live in Pennsylvania, in the United States. And I've been here for, goodness, almost 8.5 years since I got married. Okay, let's bring back our painting. Should we try to bring back the mirror too? We might be able to bring back the mirror. Ooh. Gonna make some noise, gonna make some mess. Ooh. Boop, boop, boop. So this is what we were working on. Kind of a mess. Oh boy, I'm gonna try to get the mirror back real quickly for you guys. We have a couple minutes to fiddle around with this painting. Let's see. Excuse anything that looks ridiculous that you're about to see, because oh boy. Maybe, I don't know how to get the mirror back. Do I consider my art surrealism? It's a little surreal. I use the surrealism hashtag on Instagram sometimes. Ooh. Oh boy, the mirror. Hello, mirror. Oh no. This thing is too heavy and too wobbly. It's round. It's a circle mirror. So it's like impossible to put in a place that makes sense. The water looks good. Yeah, it's pretty dirty now. The water. It's seen a lot of use. My favorite color that I made is probably the warm red. I really like that one. I'm going to move you guys back over to the other side, the inconvenient side, for my convenience. Yeah, the table's in a weird spot. Can you see my butt? Is that fine? Oh, I think it was tilted up more. Hello. Dropping everything. Mm? 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 Oh boy, you can see my shelves. You guys will have to let me know if that works at all. No, I feel like you can see, yeah, it's like against the wall. Tilt it up even more, maybe? Ooh. Does that work? Am I getting closer? I feel like it was just in like the perfect spot before. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. And hope, but now you can't see the painting. Okay. You can see me sometimes. Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. Yeah, it is hard to see the whole painting. Sorry guys, I know the mirror is not super visible. Hope you'll forgive me. My setup is kind of a mess. What are some of my favorite artists, art styles, and art books? That's a good question. I do have those things. I've really been loving slightly more abstract art lately. And I don't know, it's so hard to name people by names because I think of like people's Instagram handles. And that's not really helpful. Well, originally the mirror, the reason that it's in this room was because I had it propped up against the wall for oil painting self-portraits. That's why it's there. But I haven't been doing those for a couple days now. So it's mostly just there now for when I want to do self-portraits again. And then it'll get propped up against the window in between the wall and a baby chair. Or one of my kids' little chairs, which is kind of silly. The inspiration for this piece, I wanted to do a smaller face and a large block of color for the form. So that's kind of where this came from. And then I did some sketches before I started streaming to experiment with the pose and the angle. This paint is really thick the way it is right now. And this color is a bit gray, which is fine. Beginner gouache, it's so interesting. With watercolors, I think that there are some student grade paints that... Oh, this is acrylic gouache, by the way. Oh, and somebody asked about this tin. Yes, this is that tin. This is the acrylic gouache came in this. Yep. I love this tin. Okay. Anyway, with watercolors, I think there's some student brands that are really nice. With gouache, I think Arleesha gouache is okay for learning how to paint with opaque mediums. If you're coming from watercolors and you're just looking for something where you can throw a lot of paint around and just experiment without stress. But outside of that, I almost recommend like just getting a small professional mixing set from like M-Gram or Holbein, just like the primaries and black and white, just a couple colors to start of a professional brand, because then you're going to learn how gouache actually works instead of being frustrated with cheap gouache, if that makes sense. So this canvas is not the best quality, and it's actually kind of pulling up some of my paint in weird areas. What are the first art supplies when I started art again? Oh, okay, so this is an interesting question, because when I first started with art, I was hearing from a lot of artists that, and I guess it was the kind of art I was looking at, was what you do is You sketch something and then you ink it like with microns, and then you color it with Copic markers, and that's how you make art. So like a lot of the artists I was following and the things I was looking at, like that's how they were making art. And yeah, the introductory gouache that from Holbein is a great recommendation. I agree. And so that's what I started with. I think I started with colored pencils because they were cheap and we had them at the house. But I got some microns almost right away and started that way. You know, when everybody starts with art and all they want to draw is anime, that was me. And then I was really nervous about paint, actually, like watercolors and stuff. I was like, yeah, no way. Ooh, from Australia, hello. Yeah. I started thinking, oh, I like anime. And then had to like grow into something different and new. This painting is a mess. That's okay. It's actually really difficult for me to paint on stream and like make a painting that I like. Yeah, I don't have the patience for colored pencils either, I discovered. Even if when people use them to line their watercolor pieces, I still don't use yeah, I still don't use colored pencils very often. I really like to watch Mark Crilly use colored pencils. He makes it look so serene. Love that guy. Somebody asked how old my kids are. My daughter is, how old is she? My daughter's 5, and my son is 3. They're little. Ooh, charcoal. Charcoal was another one of those things that I tried out a little bit when I was first getting started. But haven't used in a long time. Guys, what is this? What am I doing? It's actually really difficult for me to paint on stream. And to create a painting that I like the look of. Yeah, her dinosaur dream. She's so cute. She actually has some things to say in my new video that's coming up next week. My daughter was making some comments while I was filming like the last bits of the video, and I was like, oh, I have to leave these in. It's so cute. So there will be more words from my little girl in the video that's coming up this Thursday. Yeah, oh boy, yeah. I was talking about scrolling through early Instagram stuff. You guys don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's a mess back there. Yeah, because when I first started posting on Instagram, I wasn't thinking about making art a profession at that point. I was just making art and sharing it because I wanted to, you know? So that was fun. I took a break from social media for February. So there were a couple posts I had to do, but my break was for the month of February. And this month I am back. Developing your art style. Oh boy. I think there has to be a balance when you're working to develop your own art style. There has to be a balance between looking at artists that inspire you and creating things on your own. So I think it's really easy to get bogged down with looking at what other artists are doing and how you feel they are better than you. That beats me down a lot, even still. But you also have to spend time creating. Like, just shut off social media and make some stuff, because you're never going to know what you can do, where you're at, and what you like to do if you don't do stuff. I would get so hard on myself about how I wasn't where I wanted to be, but I didn't really know where I was because I didn't actually spend time doing things. I just spent time beating myself up for not being as good as other people. So when it comes to developing your own art style, there has to be a balance between surrounding yourself with art that you love, so the kind of things you want to create, while also creating what you can create, and not and just being where you are. It's important. Oh, thanks for this sub. Aw, thanks for hanging out in the stream. But if you have homework, you know what? Don't even get me started about talking about school, guys. Because every time my friends tell me, "Oh, I have so much homework to do," now this does not include like up through high school. You know, like public education, getting your diploma, that stuff. You got to do that, right? But then when people are in college and they're like, "Oh my gosh, college and I'm working so hard," I'm like, you could just quit. That's horrible, but like, I don't know. I think you have to get to a point where is hard work and is important, but there has to be a point where you go like, what's the point? Are we just talking about like academic prestige here? Because that's not worth the debt and the time. Anyway, sorry. I don't want to talk about school. School. Yeah, the idea for this painting, like I said, I wanted to do a large block of color. I wanted to just block something in, like a big shape. So I did that, and I wanted the figure to be smaller. And I wanted the figure to only take up part of the frame. So basically, I just had a visual idea in my mind of, I want this large shape of the figure, but not just a portrait, you know. I hope that makes sense about where the idea came from. That's confusing. Okay. Anyway, I had an idea for something I thought would make a nice painting, and I'm scribbling on this thing now. So, what's my favorite piece of art that I've made? Oh, that's such a nice question. I don't know. Maybe I'll look on Instagram, and for me, the art that I make that I enjoy the most usually ends up being something that I had fun making. It's usually not, oh, I'm so happy with how this turned out. That's important. But what usually makes me at the end of a painting go, oh my goodness, this is my favorite, was just I had fun creating it. Even if it technically, like as far as skill level, maybe isn't the best thing I've ever painted. Yeah. It's the paintings that I've had the most fun with are the ones where I go, this is my favorite. This might even just end up being a concept for something that will look like a real painting in the future. I feel like I just keep repeating like the underpainting stages with this, and I'm not actually like making it any more closer to being finished. Okay, one more question, and then I have to go get my daughter. She's at her friend's house down the street, and I have to go pick her up and bring her home and make her dinner and give her kisses and hugs. My son is downstairs with his grandpa. He already had his hug and kiss time. Putting emotion into paintings. I think one of the good things would be to think critically about the paint that you feel has emotion. And what gives it that emotion? Is it the colors that they chose to use? For me, one of the biggest ways... Do I cover my wall in images? Oh my goodness, yes. So this is the room where I paint, and I have a lot of artwork from other artists in this room. Not a ton. Most of it's in the room where I edit videos. I have a wall that I just finished. I'll have to show you guys a picture. I just finished putting up a lot of my art, and the one entire wall is just covered in up to about waist level. Like waist level up is just paintings that I've gotten from other people or gifts, commission. There's one I've only paid for one commission in my life, and so there's that, gifts, things that I've purchased, art trades with other people. So Yes. Anyway, emotion. Like for this piece, I feel like using desaturated colors, cool colors, large blocks of shapes. I think all of those things work together to communicate emotion. And then just the overall posture of the figure. Like there's so many things that work together to create a sense of emotion, I think. Oh, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been really fun. Oh, I used to watch more Ross Draws, but I haven't seen his content in a while. It's been a while. That's so funny. I don't know his OC, but yeah. I used to, when I thought that digital art was the thing I wanted to do, I used to watch more of his videos. Okay, so I just put some really bright red on there for no reason. All right, guys, I gotta go. I have to go pick up my daughter. I've really been missing creating content for you, and I didn't want to wait until next Thursday when the new video comes out before I got to talk with you guys again. So I wanted to do a quick live stream, hang out with you guys for a little while, and make a mess. So we did that. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. If you guys are enjoying this, another thing I want to incorporate this year, I want to do more live streams like this because this was pretty easy, but we can do more, a more refined setup in the future, get things set up properly, and, that's a plan for the future. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I loved having your company. I loved having you guys here with me. And, it's been fantastic. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming. And I will see you all next time. Here. Okay, I want to say bye to you guys for real. Here's the mirror. It's kind of dirty, and the sunlight is shining. Goodbye. Thank you for coming to my stream. Oh boy. And I will see you guys on Thursday. I love you guys too. You guys are so sweet. Oh no, how do I end this stream? I have no idea how to end a stream. Okay. You guys look at this while I try to figure out how to end a stream. You guys are amazing. Goodbye. Oh, that was easy.